Phelps or a Michael Jordan or a Dr. J. So we will, I don't think that's a good idea. No, it is a good idea.
So what you just heard is Charles Barkley and Ernie Johnson failing to agree on whether this dunk wheel is a good idea or not. And you can say a lot about Charles Barkley, but when it comes to dunk contest commentary, he's rarely wrong. In addition to the dunk wheel, round one is a bracket that pits the dunkers against each other. And I'm just going to say this right now to get ahead of it. They never do this again. There was a battle round in 2014, but I wouldn't call that a bracket because no one got eliminated from that.
Yeah, but see, the problem I have with that is Steve Francis probably can't do something. Some of those guys can't do something about Dr. J and Michael Jordan did. Well, those guys have really long fingers, being able to palm the ball, that gave them a great advantage.
Charles Barkley basically explains why the dunk wheel is a horrendous idea in only 40 seconds of TV time. It's some of his best work, and it really sets the tone of this competition. After a pretty standard interview of Gerald Wallace and Steve Francis, Craig Sager started with this question to Dr. J.
Charles Barkley says he doesn't like the wheel. He doesn't like guys trying to duplicate what you could do. How do you feel about it? What was the most difficult thing you done on the wheel? Well, I think the guys are going to have to put their own flavor to it. So, duplicating, you don't duplicate the essence of it. It's not going to be able to make a carbon copy out of it.
But they have to... It's going to be so hard to put their own flavor on these dunks when they're being told what to do.
I think I'd love to see the activity and guys coming into something new as opposed to just trying to emulate their own, because you're not going to have the shot value, and part of how the audience and the crowd feels about these dunks is just, their anxiety is created by a little shot value.
So far, we have two powerhouse dunkers in their day already saying that this might not go well. We also get the intel that Jason Richardson and Steve Francis were complaining about how they were going to be asked to dunk with brand new NBA basketballs. Now try to think about all the basketballs that you've played with. You might have played with a nice Nike ball with the gold trim. You might have played with my personal favorite ball, the Wilson Evolution with the gold trim. Fire. I don't know if you guys ever played with an NBA ball, but you'll know that Jason Richardson and Steve Francis have a valid complaint. Here's J.J. Redick, who once got pissed that the league was playing games with brand new basketballs. He explains it perfectly.
I'm sending a request for the league tomorrow that you can play with worn basketballs. I'm not sure why we're playing in real games. I'm being dead serious. I'm not sure why we're playing in real games with brand new basketballs. Anybody's ever touched an NBA ball brand new, it's a different feel and touch than a worn basketball. I didn't realize until a timeout, later the long rebound, I grabbed it. I was like, what? Why are we playing with the ball? Give you guys the opportunity to pick a good basketball. You think I'm joking? No, I'm neurotic.
So it's known that the balls are going to be slippery, but we're going to have some dunks on the wheel that can only be done with one hand. What could possibly go wrong, guys? If you've been watching my channel, you may know me as someone that has taken more of an interest in sports fashion. And that's why I want to tell you about Guys I Got It. Guys I Got It is a brand that specializes in shoes that don't match, but they do tell a story. Every shoe release showcases an interesting collaboration that tells a story, celebrates, or cements its history. For example, as a Pistons fan, my favorite collaboration they've done are the Malice at the Palace sneakers. But they have many different collaborations and projects that you can rock and wear. I really resonate with Guys I Got It because, like these shoes, I often find myself different in the world and wanting to use these shoes as a way to express that. They also have hoodies and shorts and are often coming out with new collaborations and ideas, so be sure to stay connected to GuysIGotIt.com. And if you're interested in copying some of the shoes or the clothes, be sure to use my code, COPEYTHISING, for 10% off of your order. Thank you so much again to Guys I Got It for sponsoring this video. Anyway, so it's time to meet all of our contestants. We have Sacramento Kings rookie Gerald Wallace, we have rookie Jason Richardson, we have Steve Francis, and then we have reigning champion Desmond Mason. I do want to make note that this is the first time in Slam Dunk Contest history that there are only 4 contestants. Historically, we used to have up to 6 to 8 contestants, but no, we now introduce our judges. First up is Chase Thompson. I know what you're thinking. Who is that? Well, Chase won a sweepstakes that sent him to be a dunk contest judge to represent the internet. The entire internet.
Chase is the winner of NBA.com's fantasy-wide sweepstakes and will represent people around the world living NBA.com. Annotated, Chase.
It's actually not as bad as you think. So during the contest, the internet would also be live voting along with the other judges. I don't hate this, but I am baffled that this doesn't get talked about more. This feels like, honestly, one of the few dunk contest decisions that are a little bit ahead of their time. A reason why I like the internet voting for each dunk versus the fan voting that they had in the early 2010s is because for fan voting, in theory, you could vote for your favorite contestant before the contest was over. I always thought that was weird. The next judge is Kenny Smith, who also is on the TNT broadcast. We're followed by legend George Irving, dunk legend Darryl Dawkins, and Philadelphia 76ers legend Dr. J. And it feels like Dr. J has been judging every contest. Honestly, he should until he doesn't want to anymore. Anyway, first up is Desmond Mason versus Jason Richardson. Both contestants played in the rookie-sophomore game earlier that day, which is still wild that around this era that the dunk contest and the rookie-sophomore game were a same-day affair. In the first round, each dunker will get 3 dunks, and their top 2 scores will be added together. This time, Desmond Mason kicks it off. What's interesting about this contest right now is the fact that the court isn't lit, and you can't see the crowd's reactions right now. It's a weird choice. Some of the best dunk contests have the entire arena lit up, so you can see the fellow NBA athletes and celebrities that are courtside reacting in kind. We just handed Tim Duncan while we wait for the judges to score, and he looks like he wants to go home already. I know this isn't really that different from Tim Duncan's regular demeanor, but it feels a little bit different out here. 10 out of 10, 10 notes.
It's very simple, dunk. It was very well done and executed, but there was nothing too difficult about it. I don't think there was any close fitting. There was a couple dunks.
You want to know who called that a simple dunk on the loudspeaker in front of thousands of people? Freaking Danny Ainge. The judges give Mason a 41. I'm also noticing a longer delay in the judging, and that's probably because of us having to wait for the internet. So it turns out to be a little awkward for these long pauses in deliberation. There are also a couple of things I want to unpack here. First of all, Jason Richardson is one of the best 2-foot dunkers of all time. Remember this detail. This will be important. And doing a 360 windmill right after Mason just did a more standard one is a great way to upstage Mason. What I don't like right now is the fact that Kenny Smith is commenting that it's close to being over when 1, the contest just started, and 2, and more importantly, you know we're judged, right? So from that dunk, Jason Richardson gets a 48, and now we get to watch the second dunk of the round. Now this dunk enforces the rule that you need to have a teammate involved. So Earl Watson is here. Wow. That's tough. I personally don't like when a teammate is mandatory in these dunk contests. I like that it's an option. It's cool that dunk contests whenever they have flexibility, but when they make it mandatory,
good night.
It's takes the air out of it.
Go lay down.
So here I think we have the earlier era of the dunk contest category that I like to call leapfroggers, where you have a person that you jump over in some capacity. For Earl Watson, this is a great job, but I do want to point out that he crouches a bit. Now, I don't think he needed to, but you only get 1 attempt for each dunk, so I understand taking a safe approach for this. Ernie Johnson notes that Desmond Mason did something like this last year, but this is a whole new dunk contest, so it's probably not going to affect the score. Mason ends up hitting a 43. Now it's time for Gilbert Arenas and Jason Richardson.
I bet he's got the creativity of his own.
And this is why I don't like the one attempt rule. But I think this is when the league started to realize that sometimes the dunk needs more attempts to get it down. But honestly, this is one I think that Richardson just flat out missed, which is okay. I also just think that that's what contestants meant about the new ball being slippery. Once we're waiting on the Richardson score, we once again get to hear Charles Barkley talk about how weird the wheel is.
Yeah, because, the best thing about Dr. J. Michael Jordan was the size of their hands. They give them a distinct advantage when you're trying to dunk and move the ball around being able to palm it. There's about 4 dunks on this wheel that no one will be able to do on sequence.
Because the dunk was missed, Richardson gets a score of 31. And now, finally, it's time to spin the dunk wheel.
I'm not sure which one you want to get. He's looking for the bench dunk. He's looking for one of the question marks and hopes to get a bench dunk. He's going past the question mark and Dr. J.
I only feel like people are cheering about the Dr. J dunk because once again, we're in Philadelphia and Dr. J is one of the judges. So let's see what Dr. J dunk he has to do.
And which Dr. J goes to ask is this one. Don't tell me take it off on the line. See, he can't do this dunk. It's a tough. Okay.
So this is going to be tough for Desmond Mason because in the 2001 dunk contest, Desmond Mason did 4 dunks. 3 of them were off 2 feet, and only 1 of them was off 1 feet. I'm saying this right now because Dr. J is a 1-foot leaper most of the time.
I think these players are obviously good jumpers off of 1 or 2 legs, but Desmond Mason and Jason Richardson are better jumpers off of 2 feet.
Well, and here lies the problem with the dunk contest. The Dr. J dunk looks cool because Dr. J was taller and he made it look smooth. Desmond Mason's a little bit shorter and a more violent jumper. So of course that dunk looked lackluster. I mean, all that do is make Dr. J look disappointed. Look what you've done. I'm not talking Desmond Mason here. I'm talking about whoever came up with this wheel idea. Top us all off, this Dr. J dunk was from 1984, and Dr. J did this when he was 35 years old. Also, I think that this is a dunk that is impossible to do your own thing to. Desmond Mason gets a 36 for that dunk, but luckily, he can drop that score.
The real dunk, that's something you have to come out and do, so I done a pretty good job of it. There's one thing that's a fair dunk. So when you get the wheel, you get nervous, and then you find out you have to emulate the great Dr. J service. Yeah, I mean, it is like especially when you sit right over there and you're one of the judges.
Okay. It's Jason's time to step in.
It was fast human highlight. It is human highlight film. Human highlight. He's got to do the windmill. He's got to do the one-handed field. This is his signal. That's the one that he wanted. Of all the dunks that he wanted to do, this is the one he wanted. But he's got to do it with the singing elevation that dominates him to do it for him.
You see, this one's wild for a couple of reasons. One, this play is right in Jason Richardson's advantage because he's a 2-footed dunker. One of the best of all time. The second thing is that it's the same dunk that Desmond Mason just did in this round, basically. Like, this wasn't really thought through. Like, imagine if Mason got this and then had to do the same dunk again. And it's Dominique Wilkins. Like, that's Mr. Winter.
This is a good break. Again, this is who's talking with this particular dunk.
Bought a seafood frame for my poster. That baby's going to pay for itself in like 15, 20 years.
Like, keep in mind, he did a 360 windmill for his first dunk, which is the harder of the two, in my opinion. But yeah, like, Richardson easily has the crowd here.
Wow. It's not quite as good as that. Now, they take effortlessly, though. I'll tell you, I mean, he did that. He shields of all angles. Yeah, that's awesome. It doesn't matter what angle you see that. That's not as good as how they work. Oh, no, baby. That's right there.
I disagree with them here. I think that's just as good of a dunk as Dominique. I feel like the windmill is my least favorite dunk contest dunk, usually, like the category of windmills. It's maybe a me thing. It's probably a me thing. We'll unpack that when I make a Dominique Wilkins video one day. And I will. And I will. Wainwright gets a perfect 50, and that includes the internet players to make the finals. And all I gotta say, that even though Desmond got a bad spin at the dunk wheel, I do believe that he still didn't have a chance here against one of the best dunk contest dunkers of all time. I know that he's a rookie at this point, but he will go on to be one of the best dunk contest dunkers of all time. Next up, we have Gerald Wallace and Steve Francis.
Honestly, you don't know. This guy averages 6 minutes a night in 30 games. Not a whole lot of fun to see, but his teammates ran away from